strike the language that's true, and you want to add in this other language, the proper place for this, as I've said again multiple times, is to put it in the minority views, which will be part of the oversight plan. But for some reason, that doesn't seem to be good enough for the minority.
Will the chairman yield?
Yeah, sure.
Just to pursue this point for a moment, this claim that this was fact-checking, wasn't this a suppression of New York Post reporting on the genuineness of the Hunter Biden laptop, which included the most incriminating evidence against a president involving family influence peddling that I think has ever been produced, and it turned out to be true. So what they were actually doing was suppressing facts, not checking them.
Suppressing facts and doing violation to the First Amendment and free speech rights of Americans. Who seeks recognition? Gentlelady, Ms. Crockett is recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. It's so interesting to me that we all swear an oath to the Constitution, and we say that we take that oath seriously, but when it comes into actually doing something that looks like preserving that oath or looks like preserving the Constitution, we get a little wobbly, and I'm not really understanding what's going on. Freedom of press doesn't look like kicking out the Washington Post, or actually the Huffington Post has been kicked out. We know that the Associated Press has been kicked out, and now the Washington Post is not going to allow for op-eds in any way if for some reason they criticize the sitting president of the United States.
What you're about to witness is the political explosion of the century. It's the moment the mask fell off. For years, she was the picture of control, polished, perfect, and politically impervious. But inside a packed congressional hearing room, Ivanka Trump's flawless composure didn't just crack, it was torpedoed by one single name. In front of the entire nation, she completely lost control. The air in that room didn't just drop, it became toxic. This wasn't some calculated political theater. This was raw, primal fury, and it was unleashed by Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who did what no one else dared. She dragged the off-limits name of Barron Trump directly into a high-stakes financial investigation. You need to understand, the entire Washington machine paused. Every reporter stopped typing. This wasn't a debate about policy. It was a direct shot at the family's most sacred, protected secret, and that secret was about to be laid bare. The hearing was already tense, focusing on opaque financial structures. But when Crockett, an attorney with a reputation for surgical precision, veered from the talking points and started referencing the curious case of the sequestered assets, everyone leaned in. She called it the inconvenient financial evidence, and then she dropped the hammer. The moment she connected the investigation to hidden family assets and specified that a minor's name was used, Ivanka's veneer instantly vaporized. One moment she was serene, the next she was a figure of absolute rage, her hand slamming the table with a shockwave you could practically feel through the camera lens. Her composure wasn't simply lost, it was shattered into a million pieces. She was screaming, trying desperately to drown out Crockett's voice. This wasn't just a political defense, it was the panic of a secret being exposed. Crockett didn't stop. She made it clear, based on her experience as a criminal defense lawyer, that the scale of this alleged operation was unprecedented. And then came the whisper from deep inside the Trump financial orbit that stopped the world. Crockett was holding evidence of private high-level communications. The crucial phrase, the smoking gun, was this: the B account must maintain its firewall status until the current storm passes. Ivanka's desperate scream of, "How dare you drag my younger brother into this? He is just a child," did nothing to deter the Congresswoman. Calm, almost chillingly composed, she lifted a thick manila folder. Receipts. Inside, she claimed, were alleged emails detailing instructions to use Barron's name as a temporary custodian for millions in sensitive asset transfers. The purpose? To allegedly make the money untouchable by regulatory bodies. The room erupted. It was a complete breakdown of decorum. Reporters were practically diving over each other. And before the hearing could even be officially suspended, social media was ablaze. Hashtag Barron Bombshell and hashtag Ivanka Unfiltered immediately trended worldwide. The initial reaction was split. Was Crockett a truth teller, or had she crossed an unforgivable line by weaponizing a teenager? But that debate was about to become irrelevant. Just hours later, the drama wasn't just in Congress, it was global. A dark, anonymous account exploded onto the scene, @FAM Financial Firewall. This wasn't a troll, this was a surgical strike. The account promised to show the full iceberg, not just the tip. They posted blurred financial spreadsheets, and then the knockout punch, a muffled audio clip. The voice was unmistakably, chillingly like Ivanka's, and the alleged statement was a direct confession to a conspiracy. "This is how we keep Dad clean. Use the safe account. Barron's name is the perfect firewall for now." Think about what that implies. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't an oversight. This was an alleged deliberate strategy to use a teenager's legal status as an impenetrable shield for family wealth. The internet went ballistic. Is it real? Is it the cruelest political hoax in history? It didn't matter. The narrative was cemented. The family had allegedly used their youngest son as a financial decoy. News analysts from every corner of the political spectrum tore into the story, calling Ivanka a massive fraud and the architect of the betrayal. The heat was already unbearable, but then came the ultimate political twist, the theory that turned this into a real-life house of cards. The leak was an inside job. Pundits immediately started pointing fingers at everyone else in the inner circle. Was it Don Jr. settling an old score? Was it Eric, or even Jared Kushner? But the theory that gained the most traction, the one that launched hundreds of thousands of views on a single viral thread, was the unimaginable. Melania Trump was the quiet, deliberate source. The argument was simple. Melania, the famously private wife, had seen her son allegedly exposed and used in this alleged scheme. The only way to stop the bleeding, the only way to protect her child, was to preemptively leak the damning evidence. It wasn't an act of politics, it was an act of motherly revenge against her husband's inner circle. The internet split instantly. Was she a fiercely protective mother, or was she committing the ultimate political betrayal of her husband and stepdaughter? Congresswoman Crockett, sensing the shift, poured gasoline on the theory in a follow-up interview with a chillingly cryptic remark. Mothers don't stay silent when their children are being exploited. She named no names, but she didn't have to. The message was clear. The family dynasty was already at war with itself. Just when the audience thought the file was closed, the final, most damning piece of evidence surfaced. A new memo, allegedly titled "B Asset Shift," was posted. It contained a single, lethal instruction, allegedly from Ivanka herself. Get ready for this. Transfer the full amount now. The B name is untouchable for the SEC. We just need to ride out the storm. Then we quietly reverse the transfers. That one line changed everything. It completely dissolved the defense of protection. It solidified the narrative of exploitation. Social media hashtags flipped from compassion to condemnation. Hashtag Protect Barron was replaced by hashtag Ivanka exploited him. The footage of Ivanka's live meltdown was spliced with this quote, captioned simply, "Not protection, exploitation." The fallout is a political earthquake. Analysts are debating whether a mother could be the most powerful, most unlikely political operative in modern American history. Through it all, the family remains in a cold, deafening silence. No denials, no statements, just the quiet of a dynasty tearing itself apart. When Crockett was asked who her source truly was, she gave us the final enigmatic piece of the puzzle. Sometimes the truth comes from the people you least expect. This is no longer a political scandal. This is about deep-seated family betrayal, financial manipulation, and the unraveling of one of the world's most famous names. Ivanka's live explosion was not the end of the story. It was the gunshot that started the family civil war. Now, tell me what you think. Who is the real villain here? Is it Ivanka, or is Melania the mastermind? Drop your theory in the comments below.
And if you want to be the first to know when the next leak drops, you need to smash that like button and subscribe right now.